Hey, welcome to No Ordinary Woman Chat Show. I'm your host, Miss Kazmak. Now guys, if you're new to this channel, on this channel you're going to hear about some phenomenal, amazing, no ordinary women who are doing great things within our society. Some of you may or may not have heard about these women, but on this show you're going to get insight about who these women are, and they're going to encourage you to become who God created you to be. So I'll see you on the other side. Watch this advert and join me right back. See you in a bit.
Where do we go? Where do we go? Where do we go?
Hey guys, welcome back. I'm your host, Miss Kazmak. Now, we have an extraordinary, amazing, no ordinary woman, and this woman is an author. She's also a radio presenter, and she's got a book that kind of goes in line to what we're about. But let's meet this amazing Philippa Gittins, who's here live at No Ordinary Woman Chat Show. Hey, what's going on, Philippa?
Hey, Kaz. Great of you to invite me today on this show. Absolutely awesome. Really appreciate it.
Cool.
So I really look forward to speaking to you today and sharing my journey.
Excellent. Fantastic. So, Philippa, do tell our viewers about you, because obviously you're an author, you're a mother as well, and you know, you're a radio presenter also, and you're on a radio station, which I'm sure you're going to tell everybody about a bit shortly. But talk about your book about love yourself and be yourself. I can see you got copies. Is that my copy? Is that my copy?
Of course, Kaz.
Okay.
Yes, what it is, Kaz, is that this journey of my book, Love Yourself and Be Yourself. It looks really good against there, you Kaz. Well, the colour's going well. And it started from a long time ago, like in 1992, when I gave birth to my second child. I actually was in a place whereby I become very unwell after having her, giving birth to her. And I actually was in a life-threatening condition I had. And I had something called a pulmonary embolism, which is a PE for short.
Right.
And that was on my lungs. And it went, I'm just giving a little bit of insight into my book. This is in my book, a little bit snippet. And when I was in that, when I had my daughter, I was lying on the bed in the hospital, and then things just became dark and I couldn't breathe anymore. And my eyes just shut. And I went on a journey. But that's just giving you some of it. You have to get the book to find out more.
What kind of journey? Come on, you can't just leave people. Come on, man, give me a look at inside. Like, just a little snippet.
It was a dark journey. It was a journey whereby I saw white doves.
Oh.
I saw a man in a brown coat. He said to me, asked me the question, "Where are you going?" I said, "I'm going over there. It looks really nice over there." There was a smell of lavender in the air. I believe is what they call the pearly gates. But he said to me, "Where are you going?" I said, "I'm going over there." I repeated. He said, "You can't go there. You've just given birth to a beautiful daughter who needs your help. Go back."
Right.
So I decided to listen to him. It was a good thing I listened to him as well.
Yeah, definitely.
So at that time I woke out of my coma. I was actually in the hospital bed, and I was in a coma for about 2 days.
Right. Wow.
So that was the beginning of my journey in terms of being a life-threatening illness. And it was then that I started my journey in about changing myself, but it didn't really start then. It was the beginning, but I still didn't start properly. And then moving on a few years later, I came to a point whereby I just was unfulfilled being a mother, taking my children to school.
Because you're a mother, how many kids have you actually got?
I'm a mother of 7 children.
Whoa, borrow me one now.
Absolutely gorgeous 7 children I have.
Wow,
Yeah, my
that's
oldest will be
amazing.
30.
Say who?
My oldest is 30.
Say how? Huh? Really?
Absolutely.
Wow, you're a good girl.
Thank you. 4 boys and 3 girls.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely awesome. My oldest is 30, as I said, the youngest is 6.
Yeah,
So I'm still in it,
yeah.
but you know, it's all been a beautiful journey so far. You get your ups and downs, which is just standard.
Yeah.
But in general, if it wasn't for them, I believe I couldn't get through certain challenges I've been through. And I'm going to share that with you as well. It's part of
Yeah.
my journey.
Okay.
So, you know, it was a time whereby I just was fulfilling only the mother's duty of bringing my children to school, bring them home, doing the chores and housework. But I didn't feel there's a sense of normality or whatever normality is. But to me, I didn't feel fulfilled. Something was missing. And I just couldn't put my hands on what was missing. I would scrub the floors, you know, thinking something's missing. You know, I want more than this. I wanted more. Just couldn't identify what it was. I was in a place where it was dark. I sat down on a chair, often thinking, there's more to life than this. Not having no one to really speak to. I felt like the walls were coming in at me. It was getting darker and darker within my mind. I felt there was no escape route. I felt like I was the only person feeling like this, and no one else understood how I was feeling. But, you know, it's always good when you have at least one person you can speak to.
Definitely.
And fortunately enough, I had a person like that, a friend like that. We spoke on the phone for ages about all sorts of things. And I shared with her one Saturday afternoon that the way I was feeling. She suggested to me that to get a book by an author called Ileana Van Zandt.
Yes.
I'm sure she's a well-known author,
Yes,
American
she is.
author.
Yes.
And I proceeded to the local bookstore that said day. And there were so many books. But the one that caught my eye was called In the
I
Meantime.
was going to say that. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Amazing.
Absolutely. That book, it took me on a journey. I felt that I was the character in the book. She was speaking about me.
Yeah.
The words were jumping out at me. But just going back before then, I then realised that what was missing from my life was the fact that prior to this, I wasn't reading anything at all. I never read any books at all. And as a child, I was an avid reader. It was my passion. I was a bookworm. And also, I realised that I no longer sewed because I used to love sewing.
Oh, wow, so you make clothes and everything as well?
Absolutely. And what made me decide to make clothes is that when I was a teenager at school, went to a disco, and lo and behold, there was a woman, a girl, with the same skirt as me on. And I thought, you know, I can't have that. That was a deciding factor, you know, that I'm going to start sewing something.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is my mum was a person who sewed anyway, so
Right.
that was a part of my growing up. And I thought, you know what, this is not going to happen to me again. And I started my journey of sewing. And, you know, when you sew, it's such a great feeling that you've actually started something and completed it, and that it's unique because there's no one else going to be wearing that. You know, it's a good feeling.
I love that.
Absolutely.
I wish I could sew, mate. Trust
It's quite
me.
easy.
Yeah, it's quite easy. She said, "Boy, listen, I could just about sew a button, just yeah."
Practice makes you get better.
True.
Absolutely.
But you know, when you just know that's just not your gifting and you can accept it.
Yeah.
That's not my gifting. So yeah,
I
it is what it
understand.
is.
So, yeah, I realised, as I said, that reading and sewing was completely gone from my life. So I identified that the book reading was something that I really enjoyed. But when I was a child, I enjoyed reading books like novel books, like adventurous books, like
Right.
D.H. Lawrence and Charles Dickens, those kind of books I liked.
And things that's just going to really get your imagination flowing and everything else, quite descriptive and things. Yeah.
Absolutely, English language, so
Yeah.
to speak. And it was the fact that, you know, you went on a journey. Because when you're in a book, you went on a journey. It's like the outside world didn't exist.
Yeah.
And I started to read Ileana Van Zandt book, and as I said, it was just like I was the character in the book. I felt so connected with the book. And that day, I proceeded with that book. Wherever I went in the house, that book was under my arm.
Wow.
And the children never seen me like this. And I thought, it was strange to them, my behaviour. Every moment I got, I was reading that book. And I managed to read that book within 2 days.
Wow.
And once I finished that book, I proceeded to the back of it and got another of her books. And it just went on and
What
on and
other
on.
book did you get?
I read In the Valley.
Okay, because I think I read one of Yesterday I Cried.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Oh mate, anyway, yeah.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, her books is absolutely amazing. But in regards to you speaking to your friends and, you know, obviously has, you know, kind of encouraging you to go and read and everything else. So would you say that made you then wanted to start writing about your own journey from reading the books?
Yes, what it was is that when I read that book and the feelings I had from reading that book, I decided that one day I want to share this with someone, share my journey with someone by writing a book and help them to have the experience that I received from reading Ileana Van Zandt's book, empowering, understanding, reaching out, you know, having a solution.
Yeah.
It may be not all the solutions that the person requires, but it's the start.
Of course.
And that's a promise I made that I would do. So that was actually my starting off my journey towards writing my book. And along the way, I did have other life experiences that affected me and stopped me from continuing my journey. I allowed it to stop me. Now I realise that where I am today.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you so like to blame other people.
Come on now.
And not taking responsibility
Yeah.
for your actions. But today I realise that it's only me who's stopping myself.
That was your main topic today on your show today, right?
Absolutely.
About responsibility.
Yes. And it's a big factor in our lives. When we don't take responsibilities for our lives, so many things happen. We stop from doing so many things. We stop ourselves from doing so many things. So that is a big factor in growing, taking responsibility for your actions. Along the way, I had to look after my mother because in 2012, she was diagnosed with having Alzheimer's.
Okay.
So that's another journey
Yeah.
that I wasn't expecting and took me by surprise. But the way I actually dealt with that initially, I tried to run away from it because I've heard about Alzheimer's and it's something which is not nice. And to see your loved one, someone so close, so dear to my heart, who's been there for so many years, being diagnosed with this, I just didn't want to deal with it. And I dived myself in work because I was working as an executive officer.
Okay.
So what I decided to do was just go to work and just forget about it.
Yeah.
You know,
You
when I
way
go
to
to
escape
work,
from everything, isn't
escape
it?
from it. I don't
the
want to know
real
what's
world,
going on. But they came to a point when they kept on calling me all the time because my mum would disappear.
I'm
And
sorry.
Miss Gittins, your
Yeah.
mother's missing. And that's when a realisation came in that, you know, this is for real.
Yeah.
You have to deal with this. So what I did is that I decided to give up my work and make my mum be the focus and look after her.
For you.
Don't know how long it would have taken,
Yeah.
but I was prepared. It was a hard journey, but my children were there. And it was a unit, our family was there to help us, to help me on that journey because there were so many emotions that one went through, the person that you loved, the person I had so many conversations with, endless hours of conversation, the person I would go for advice for, you know, mum, you know, so-and-so's being annoying. Oh, don't worry, it's just a phase they're going through. I wasn't able to share that time no more. It was just like a carpet taken in front of my feet, a rug. I never had no choice because it happened quickly, the stages that she was going through. And she was my focal point, supporting her. And the other thing that was really quite stressful in the situation is that I was now a carer for my mother and there was actually no support out there for carers. You didn't understand what the person was going through because you had to deal with your own emotions as well as deal with their behaviour and their emotions. So that was quite challenging. So again, it put me back in terms of my responsibility. Because what I was doing, I was then now making my mum the most priority and leaving my children out. And they needed me.
So how did you balance in regards to, you know, because obviously you're a mother of 7 children. At the time, did you have the 7 or did you have like that? All
Yes, 7
at
at a time, yeah.
So how did you actually balance everything and then obviously looking after mum as well?
What I did, generally what I will do like in the mornings, something I would actually meditate. I took meditation on because it was something that I needed to talk about things, and I found meditation was a good thing for me to ground and to be able to help my day, to plan out my day in the way I want it to go out. Because you know, when you focus on something, the energy goes that way. So I wanted, meditation helped me to get through my days in many ways, my good days, my bad days. And also another thing I used, what helped me along the way, was that I wrote things down.
Okay.
Because that is so important. Writing down my feelings, how I felt.
So was it like a journal or?
It was a journal. Writing down my feelings, what I did on a particular day, how I felt, how I felt about what my mum was going through. And also what I did was I did some research to help me find out more about the condition. So once I understood more about it, then I was able to help my mother a lot better.
Right.
I also sourced outside support.
Okay.
Which was, fortunate enough, the era I lived in, there was support there.
Right.
So that helped along the way.
Yeah. Is that within your borough?
Within my borough, yes, which was good. And there was a society called the Alzheimer's Research Society. Right. And that helps as well. It has lots of information that you can go to them and speak to them if you need some help in any particular areas, and for you to understand what's going on. So just moving forward a little bit with that I looked after my mum for 3 years. And when I decided to go on a family trip, just to help the children get away from it, to break up the scenario.
And have time together,
because
isn't it?
We needed that.
Yeah.
And as I said, there was such a rock. I decided to go away, take them away, the 4 youngest, in December 2015. We was on our route to Jamaica for a lovely 3-week holiday.
Sounds nice.
So looking forward to it.
Now.
Sun shining, you know, food, fresh food, you know, was on the menu.
Yeah.
You know, when the plane lands, it landed in Montego Bay.
Okay.
I put my phone on, and as I put my phone on, there was a call coming through. I thought, this is my son, my oldest son. And I said, what's up, son? He said, Mum, I don't know how to tell you this. I said, what's it, son? Granny's gone.
Oh, no.
But when he said Granny's gone, I felt that she just took herself up and walked out of the hospital, because she was known to do that. But he said, Mum, I don't know how to tell you this. And when he said, I don't know how to tell you this, I knew.
Yeah.
She passed away.
Wow. I'm sorry.
It's a life journey. And, you know, at the time when it passed away, I was thinking, what do I do? We've just landed here, you know. So I had to deal with the children's emotions, my emotions. Should I stay or should I head back? Was my question, my dilemma. But I continued the vacation. Yeah. I made it what we could make it, to then face whatever we had to face. Yes. When we came back to London. Wow. So that was that journey. And with the passing of my mum, I just wanted to leave a legacy. It was time for me to write my book, because I was procrastinating for so many years. I was making so many things get in my way, and I decided that 2016 was going to be my year that I was going to complete my book. The first part of 2016, I spent a lot of time just dealing with the emotions, the up and down, with my mum passing away suddenly, and just trying to understand that journey, what happened. And I plucked up the courage. Being surrounded by like-minded people which is very encouraging.
Yes.
People who were finishing their books, and I thought, you know what, you're finishing your book, I'm going to finish
yours,
mine.
yeah. And it's important that you have those people around you as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. So 2016 progressed quite quickly,
Yeah.
quite rapidly. December was there, and I didn't finish my book. I'm saying, what's going on here, girl? You've got to complete this book. So I made it an actual decision that 2017 is going to be the year and the month I wrote down that I'm going to complete this book.
Good for you.
And I'm so happy to say that in March 2017, I published my first book, Love Yourself and Be Yourself, which is available on Amazon.
Excellent.
And
Well
it's,
done.
thank you very much. I'm so excited about this, you know, because my children are so excited. Mum, you've done it. And I just want to be an example to many women out there because, you know, we come to crossroads in our lives and things get in the way. We can't decide what we want to do because we may have spent our years, sacrificing our years, bringing up a family and just forgotten yourself. And you come to a point where your children no longer really need you so much.
Yeah.
And you start to just rediscover yourself like, who am I? Where am I going? And this book will give you examples, tips, suggestions, and a bit of an insight on the tools that I use to help me come to this point where I am today, being an published author.
That's amazing.
Absolutely.
So it's like basically it's a self-help book to an extent, but you're giving like strategies of tips and things that you've actually used for yourself personally. But one of the things that I like in regards to what you have done is the fact is, you know, being a mother of 7 children, you could have just said, you know what, forget it, it's not going to happen, but you still kept going through. Do you know what I mean? And the importance to have people around you that are doing more or less the things that you want to do as well, that also encouraged you to push you, because obviously you've seen that they've completed, you're thinking, hold on, you know, I need to get out there. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm not saying that you're in any competition or anything, but sometimes it's good to have those individuals around you to empower you, because it's like they said, I remember hearing a saying that if you're the only one, you know, the brightest person in your pack, then you're kind of like in the wrong crowd. You know, I'm kind of like paraphrasing what I've heard before. But you need to be around people that are doers, that are go-getters, because it inspires you, it encourages you to do what you're doing. And hence the reason why we got you on the show, because the fact that you've actually done this is a great achievement. And I really want to say, well done to you. You know, we absolutely salute you. But what I want to do, go moving forward, is about your radio show.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for that, Kaz. Really appreciate
You're
it.
very welcome.
I believe the fact that because I'm not I don't sit down, I have to do something. I just feel like my life purpose, I've got so much to do. And writing my book was just the beginning. I want to be able to share and help people, as many women as possible, be that inspiration to my children, because it does, regardless of the challenges one goes through, it doesn't have to be the be and end all, as you said. You can learn from that.
Yes.
You can grow from that.
Yes.
And just, it's not about talking all the time. It's about actually
Doing it. Come on now.
Because your action speaks louder than your words every time. So this is my action.
Go there. Yes. High five me, girl. That's what I'm talking about.
And
yeah.
the other
Yes.
thing that I like to do is music. I love music. I'm so passionate
What
about
genre
it.
do you like?
Reggae music.
Oh, see ya. Reggae girl.
Roots.
Roots
Culture.
and culture.
Love it. Go on to
Okay.
bed, as they would say. Jamaican terminology. Yeah.
Okay.
So I got the opportunity to be a radio presenter, and I thought, you know what? Go for it, girl.
Yeah.
So it's on a Sunday, and it's a talk show
On what channel?
on Yard Vibes Radio.
Yard Vibes.
Yard Vibes, keeping it yard style. Yard Vibes Radio, 876.com.
Okay, cool.
So it's available on TuneIn as well, and every Sunday between 12 and 2. It's a talk show, but also has reggae music, lovers rock, 80s, 70s, 60s music.
Okay.
Doing rock steady.
Yes.
Yeah, give you that move, that vibe.
When you're just cooking up the Sunday dinner.
You know it, Kaz.
Done, soak up the rice and peas. Yes, you have no excuse to not have that food ready by a certain time because they're tuning to you. Yes.
And the thing about it, what it did is that it brought me back into my childhood, because I remember as a child growing up on a Sunday afternoon, my mum would play the radio, reggae music playing on a gram. The gram. Bringing people back. I'm just sort of letting people know my age talk about the gram.
It's all good.
It's absolutely awesome. And it just brought back memories that, you know, playing music while you're cooking, it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So I just like to share those memories with people, bring them back to their childhood, those times, you know, and yeah, you can do that.
Yeah.
And there again, raising the bar for myself again. Putting myself in the deep end.
Yes.
But I wasn't frightened.
Good
I
for
was
you.
glad. I was happy to embrace this opportunity.
Good for
And it's
you.
been fun so far.
That's absolutely awesome. And I mean, for your kids, they must be watching their mum thinking, my mum just done a book and she's on the radio, you know. It's just like, it encourages them to actually do better as well. Would you not say? Absolutely,
because they're my biggest fan.
Yeah.
Mum, we are so proud of you. They're smiling like Cheshire cats when they tell their friends, my mum's on the radio, you know. Yeah. You know, and I see their friends say, you know what, Miss P, you're doing good, you know. Well done. You know, it's good when they're, you know, because you're inspiration. I'm an inspiration not just to my children, but also to their peers, also to their parents. You know, because I get lots of people who say to me, oh, you're on a radio station. So, yeah, well done. You know, and I just don't know who else I'm inspiring, but I'm happy to be in that position.
Definitely.
Because, you know, they may be just waiting for that person, me,
to step out.
To step out and say, you know what, if she can do it for what she's been through, I definitely can do it. No excuses.
Awesome.
Absolutely. And so, you know, I've got the idea to write another book.
Okay.
Oh gosh, yes.
Ain't no stopping.
You know,
not stopping.
Not at all, because
Good
you know,
for you.
once you've got life, anything is possible. And you know, have belief in yourself, know your dreams, believe that on your journey, you may not fully know which direction you're going to go through and who's going to be there, but believe yourself. When you can start to walk on that journey, the universe will provide the people, the situation, the money, everything in order to make that a reality. It's just enjoy the journey.
Yes.
Focus on that
and
journey.
I like that, the fact that you're saying enjoy the journey, because I think sometimes we get caught up going through it, whether, you know, you're going through your challenges, your difficulty times, but we don't take that time to actually enjoy it. You know, I was speaking to someone yesterday and we were saying, like, in fact, I was speaking to my cousin yesterday in Jamaica, and I said, I'm so proud of you, you know, because last year you wasn't doing what you're doing today. Do you know what I mean? Kind of thing. And it is that process, and it is about celebrating yourself whilst you're going through that journey, enjoying it. Because if you don't enjoy it, then it's like you don't appreciate when you get to the bigger side, the bigger, you know, the bigger event or whatever it is going to lead you into. Because how are you going to then celebrate when you get to that big thing? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And it is about enjoying the journey and actually rewarding yourself.
Yeah.
Because believe in me, I've rewarded myself along the way.
Good.
I've been on 3 cruises over the past
You couldn't even call me.
over the past 3 years, you know, and I tend to, and again, it's what I show my children, that, you know, there's more going on outside in another country. They've all travelled. It's important that children travel. So there's the experience they've had as well. So I'm not keeping it all for myself. I'm including them as well.
Excellent.
So they've been to a few countries as well.
Great. Well, we're going to have to wrap up the show now. But before we wrap up, what is your social media feeds?
My social media feed is Philippa Gittins on Facebook. You can find me on there. Also LinkedIn, I'm Philippa G Coach. And also on Twitter, Philippa G Coach.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for being on the show today, Philippa. And guys, I hope you was inspired by this show. I am truly inspired by Philippa and her wonderful story. And you know, guys, don't ever feel that how once you get to a certain stage in your life or get to a certain age that you know, your sell-by date is expired, because it isn't. The fact that you're still here, the fact that you're still breathing, the fact that you're even watching this show, y'all, mate, you can do anything. Just be who God has created you to be. So till next time, I'll see you on No Ordinary Woman Chat Show. Make sure you subscribe. Peace out.
You are the key. It's only natural. Woman, you are the start. You are the beginning. And that is